seems like we've talked about video clips and tracks for most of this course. Although we've touched on audio at different times, the focus has been video. The good news is that this lesson will change that. For this lesson, we're going to focus solely on audio. We're going to learn about adjusting volume in the Effect Controls panel, adjusting the volume using the timeline, using keyframes to adjust volume within a clip, adjusting audio gain, normalizing your audio, the audio workspace, and applying and customizing audio effects. There are two ways that you can adjust the volume of audio in Premiere Pro. You can adjust it via the Effect Controls panel or via the timeline. We're going to learn how to do both. Whenever you change the volume in Premiere Pro, these changes affect the amplitude. Amplitude is measured in decibels. Unlike volume, which can start at 0, amplitude is measured by a logarithmic scale. It starts at infinity and can go up to 0 decibels in digital waveform. That said, when you increase the volume, you increase the amplitude of the signal and sound as well. To adjust the volume of an audio track using the Effect Controls panel, first select the track in the timeline. Next, go to the Effects panel. Click the triangle next to Volume so that you can see the controls. Keep the following things in mind as you make adjustments. When you adjust volume, the adjustments that you make will affect both channels. Channel volume lets you control the two channels of a stereo configuration, but can only be used on stereo and 5.1 clips. Volume can be increased to 6 decibels. It can be decreased to negative 287.5 decibels. Drag the values to the right to increase the volume. Drag them to the left to decrease the volume. You can enter values for either the left or right channels or both. To do this, just enter in a value. If you want to adjust the left-right balance, change the value in Panner Effect. 0 is balanced, negative 100 is all left, and 100 is all right. You can also control the volume over time in a clip. In other words, you can have the volume increase and decrease as the clip plays. To do this, you'll add keyframes. To add a keyframe, go to the timeline. Move the playhead to the location where you want to put a second keyframe, or where you want the change in volume to start. Click the keyframe button for level in the Effect Controls panel. Now move the timeline playhead to where you want the volume adjustment to end. Click the keyframe button again. Adjust the volume by dragging the second keyframe marker up or down. To adjust the volume using the timeline, hover your mouse over the volume band on the timeline. Your pointer will change to 2 black arrows. Drag upward to increase the volume. Drag downward to decrease the volume. To use keyframes to fade the sound in, select the Pen tool in the Tools panel. Next, select a point on the volume band where you want to insert a keyframe by clicking on it with the Pen tool. Follow up with selecting the second keyframe, again using the Pen tool. Drag the first keyframe toward the lower left corner. You've now created a fade-in. According to Webopedia, gain is defined as the following. In electronics and audio, consumer electronics gain is a unit of measurement used to mean the ratio of a signal output of a system to the signal input of a system. Gain is a term most commonly associated with amplifiers. To set audio gain for your clip, right-click on the clip and choose Audio Gain. You'll then see the Audio Gain dialog box. Check the Set Gain To box. Enter a gain value and then click OK. To adjust audio gain, open the Audio Gain dialog box again. Select Adjust Gain By. Enter a value. When you normalize your audio clip is analyzed. Then the amount of gain needed is applied. This is determined by the amount of gain needed to increase the waveform peak to the decibel limit you enter. When you have 2 clips, you'll want to normalize them so that they don't play at different audio levels. To normalize your audio, select both clips, then right-click. Choose Audio Gain. Once again, you'll see the Audio Gain dialog box. Select Normalize Max Peak To. The value that you enter should be lower than 0 decibels. To reach the audio workspace, go to Window, Workspace, Audio. A lot of the work you do in the audio workspace will take place in the audio mixer panel. At the top of the panel, you can adjust the pan by dragging the L and R knobs. You can adjust the volume by dragging the sliders up and down. You can mute, solo, or add keyframes by clicking the buttons. Earlier in this course, we learned to apply video effects. Now we're going to learn to apply audio effects. Audio effects are found in the Effects panel. Drag the effect that you want to add onto the clip, then release your mouse. We're going to drag EQ. Go to the Effect Controls panel and click the triangle to the left of the effect that you just added. You can click individual parameters to see the effect's parameters. You can also click the Edit button that's by Custom Setup to see the Clip FX editor. We're going to select a preset EQ from the Presets menu. The values below the knobs will show the keyframes with gain levels. They'll show them at up to 5 gain levels. Now you can adjust the keyframes by dragging them right, left, up, or down. The keyframes are the green squares. If you want to activate the low pass or high pass filter, check the cut box. You can also increase or decrease the gain by dragging the slider.